Welcome back. Breast cancer. It's a huge issue for women in the U.S. More than 200,000 new cases are diagnosed every year. But are we tackling this issue backwards? Should we only start treating breast cancer once it's diagnosed? Or is there anything women can do to protect themselves from ever getting this awful disease? Earlier, I spoke with Dr. Christine Horner, author of Waking the Warrior Goddess, about some natural preventative steps that women can take to help keep themselves healthy. I know that a lot of female cancers, like breast cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, and uterine cancer, have to do with hormones.
Yes.
And that's a big precursor of stress.
Yes. Yeah, so, you know, we do have a problem with feminine hormones in particular right now. One of the reasons is because we use so many different toxins that are called estrogenic, meaning that they will mimic the estrogen molecule. And they're in growth hormones, they're in plastics, they're in cosmetics, they're everywhere. And so this is one of the reasons we think that we're seeing early puberty. You know, around the world, the incidence of puberty usually starts at 16 or 17, and here in the United States, it's not uncommon for it to start at 10. And if it starts at 10, then you get menstrual periods, you know, every month, creating a surge of estradiol, the strongest, most abundant form of estrogen in the human body, and the one most linked to breast cancer. And what they find is girls who start their periods at age 10 versus 16 have a 50% higher incidence of breast cancer for the rest of their life. So my mission and passion, really, there's so many simple things that people can do, and the research is so encouraging. If you do one thing, you cut your risk in half. If you do more than one thing, those things will multiply up together. They don't just add up together. So it becomes incredibly simple to dramatically lower your risk.
Tell us. Okay. We are all ears.
So the best thing to do is to stick with plants. You know, so what research shows is that the more plants we consume, so organically grown, so they don't have the herbicides and pesticides and so forth, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and omega-3 fatty acids. This is the secrets to health as far as your diet is concerned. So I brought with me just some examples of that. The broccoli, we all hear about that.
Vegetables.
Exactly. So cruciferous vegetables, there's 18 different vegetables in the cruciferous family. So if you don't like broccoli,
you can have cauliflower.
That's right, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale. Mushrooms, incredibly medicinal for us. And what they do is they help to support our immune system. And our immune system is what really keeps us well. We find that we will produce cancer cells all the time. That's normal. If our immune system isn't strong, which can happen through stress, staying up too late at night, or eating sugar is another thing that just slugs our immune system. Then the cancer cells can start to grow out of control. So,
just those kind of mushrooms, or any kind of mushrooms?
No, there's several different kinds of medicinal mushrooms. Okay. But here's the glitch. When people say, okay, well, you know, I can add a little bit of this, but am I gonna, like, you know, cook with turmeric, you know, the Indian spice, which is so important every day? And am I gonna grind up my flax seeds, you know, every day and do that? Am I gonna eat mushrooms every day? No. So this is where taking some nutritional supplements really comes into place. So one of my all-time favorite ones is one called AHCC. This is used in Japan. In fact, they prescribe it in the hospitals in Japan for cancer patients because AHCC is a blend of medicinal mushrooms, and what it does is it supports every single cell type in the immune system and helps to keep our immune system healthy, and it will inhibit many different kinds of cancers, and they prescribe it in the hospital to cancer patients because the survival statistics are so much better. Simple thing you can do today. Vitamin D. You know, we've all heard that vitamin D explosion in research in the last couple of years. Very important for our health. It's low in many disease states, including breast cancer. So there's been a number of prospective studies done where they gave people vitamin D supplementation, and they found that it cut the risk of breast, prostate, and colon cancer in half.
But the right amount of vitamin D.
That's right. And the best way is to have your vitamin D levels measured so you know what the right amount is for you.
Right.
Now, turmeric, the Indian spice, there's been 500 studies on turmeric, and they found 150 different ways that it works. So it's almost like it's too good to be true. It inhibits 17 different kinds of cancers. If you combine this with green tea, so again, you could do it as a supplement or, you know, in the same meal. There's a study that showed that green tea will enhance the anti-cancer effects of turmeric by 3 times, and turmeric will enhance the anti-cancer effects of green tea by 8 times. So if you combine these healthy foods, and you get these synergistic reactions and get profound amounts of protection. Now, lifestyle. So all the things that we know that are good for us, those are things that help to lower the risk of breast cancer too. So getting enough rest and going to bed by 10 o'clock and getting up by 6 o'clock are the optimal hours for us to sleep. Managing your stress. You know, we know that stress is something that contributes to virtually every single chronic disease, and it definitely contributes to breast cancer. There's a statistic that if a woman goes through an extreme stress, in the ensuing 5 years, her risk of breast cancer will be 12 times higher. So this is why it's necessary for us to do effective stress reducing techniques, and that can come in the form of meditation. You can do yoga. You can even do breathing exercises, and they found that that will help to reduce your cortisol levels on a daily basis, even if you have stresses occurring in your life. Very important. And the most important thing, the thing that has more of an effect on us than anything else, more than genetics, more than diet, more than smoking, is feeling loved and supported. Our relationships.
Everybody needs to feel loved.
Yeah, but you know what? We are wired as human beings for that. And when we isolate ourselves or when we're in toxic relationships, it's the most damaging stress on our body. Conversely, if we're in loving, supportive relationships, there is nothing that is more powerful in keeping us healthy.
Well, Dr. Horner, we love you for bringing us all this amazing information to help protect ourselves from breast cancer. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I so appreciate this information.